Well, joining us this morning in not a costume, but actually something she wears as she does ceremonies for weddings, Kathleen Codd is here, and she has written a book, From Marriages to Mortgages. Welcome to the show, and thanks for being here this morning.
Thanks, Karen. It's nice to be here.
You get a request to wear capes for the weddings.
Sometimes, yes. And so I just like to accommodate what the bride is requesting and make sure that it's corresponding with what her ceremony is going to be about. So this is one of the capes that seems to be the most popular. So I thought I would wear it today just to get in the mood and not look like Halloween.
No, not at all. Now, you've written a very serious book, actually, From Marriages to Mortgages. It's the essential guide to buying your first home together. There's two reasons why you wanted to write this book. What are those?
Well, you know, there's two reasons, but there's many reasons. I narrowed it down to two reasons. But a lot of times women are new to finances, and they're not necessarily aware of all the different things that are coming at them. There's a lot of information. And so the book was written because I kept saying it over and over and over again, and it was easier to put it into a book for them. As an ordained minister, that to me was a really important aspect of it. There's a number of other reasons that come about, and for the life of me, I can't think of any more right at the moment.
But you know, we were mentioning before that it's stressful planning the wedding for some couples.
Yes, it is.
And then after you get married, if you haven't purchased your home already, and that's one of the things that you are planning to do, it's stressful doing that too, because there's differences on where you want to live. Do you want a condo? Do you want a home? Do you want a big yard? Those are things you all have to take into consideration.
And all the details are there to assist them. But brides are trying to get married and buy homes all at the same time. Our parents are trying to give us information that will guide us, and that information was good for us when we were younger, but it's not necessarily the same environment for them today. So it's helpful for them to have current information that's in the marketplace, as well as the first couple of chapters helps them sort of put the formula together in order to be able to discuss the financial side.
And we're at a time in history where we're seeing what's going on in the States with the subprime mortgages and all the defaults that are happening. For folks living up here, do we need to worry about that? And is it cause for concern for people who are buying their first home?
I think our finances are cause for concern, period. I think we really have to be accountable and responsible. Historically, we have handed over that responsibility to the banking institutions. But I'm not saying that we need to, we're going to be scot-free, but I think it's going to be helpful for us to remember that we need to recognize our own restraints and be able to work from that. We do have CMHC in Canada, and we do have other insurance companies, but it's still up to us to really be accountable and responsible for our own actions. And when we look at this from the point of view of uncovering, you know, what are the things that we need to do in order to put that formula together, we're going to be okay. Because we're going to stay within our abilities. As Canadians, we tend to undervalue who we are, and it's always something I'm amazed at when I interview clients. But I think we're going to be okay. We're going to have some people have some difficulties, but you know, there's ways to get back on track.
And couples want to be okay when they do purchase their first home, and you have a wonderful checklist in here of things that you may not anticipate when you're buying your first home. Other things cost that if you're renting right now that are not your responsibility. Owning a home, they are.
Yes, if you're buying a condominium, for example, you have condominium fees, there's property taxes, you know, there's, I'll use the condominium as an example, there's still a reserve fund, so you have to make sure that the windows are going to be replaced at some point, or the roof needs to be replaced, which is the same in a house as well. So there are other things in terms of maintenance that you have to factor into costs. And make sure that, you know, in 5 years and 10 years, those types of things are going to be available by putting some money aside now in order to be able to accommodate that.
From Marriages to Mortgages, available in bookstores now, of course.
Yes.
Across the
Chapters.
city.
Today I'll be doing a book signing at the Rideau Street Chapters, and tomorrow at the Pinecrest Mall.
Okay, where do you find time to do it all?
I don't know.
Because you also volunteer in our city too, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
You have time for that.
Yeah,
wow. Well, thank you for coming in this morning. And Kathleen has been kind enough for our brides to be in the audience. You're going to get a copy of this. So look at it, look at all the information in it, and thank you for that. You've also brought along some little party favors for everybody this morning, which is very sweet of you too, very kind.
Standing before the bride and groom is my privilege, so it is my honor to be here and to support the brides as you go forward.
Oh, aren't you?
I wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Thanks, Kathleen. And stay with 8 Channel Morning. We'll be back in a few moments with more of the program.